Think she doesn't feel it anymore. Think again. The silence is affecting her far more deeply than she lets on. At first, she pretends nothing has changed. She continues her routine, keeps herself busy, acts as if your absence doesn't matter at all. But beneath that calm surface, something is shifting. The moment you stopped chasing, the moment you stopped explaining yourself, that's when the balance quietly changed. Because the longer you remain silent, the louder it becomes inside her mind. She starts questioning herself. Did I misjudge him? Why isn't he trying anymore? Did I push him too far? At first it's confusion, then doubt, and soon after, panic. She believed she had time. She assumed you would always be there, waiting. But now she's the one watching, wondering, overthinking. And here's the truth most men don't understand. The moment you detach is often the moment she begins to chase. If you believe she's unaffected, if you think she moved on without hesitation, stay with me. Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through exactly what happens in her mind when your attention disappears. And once you understand this clearly, you'll never chase again. 1. The unexpected power of silence. When a woman hurts you, your instinct is to react, to ask questions, to explain your pain, to make her understand. But that reaction is exactly what she expects. She anticipates emotion. She expects you to reach out. She assumes you'll seek closure. Silence disrupts that expectation completely. When you don't respond, when you don't argue, explain, or react, it forces her into unfamiliar territory. She begins asking herself questions she didn't expect to face. Why isn't he responding? Did he stop caring? Is he already gone? Women are wired to read emotional feedback. When that feedback disappears, discomfort sets in. She no longer receives validation from your reaction, no reassurance that she still has influence over your emotions. And this isn't about manipulation, it's about self-respect. You're not silent to punish her. You're silent because you've recognized your worth. And once she realizes you're no longer playing the role she expected, everything starts to change. 2. The power dynamic reverses. Most men respond to emotional pain by chasing harder. They try to prove their value. They hope effort will create regret. But chasing does the opposite. It reinforces her sense of control. Emotion confirms investment. Pursuit confirms availability. Walking away removes both. When you shift your focus inward, your growth, your goals, your life, she feels the shift immediately. She expected you to react. She assumed she had time. She believed she could return whenever she wanted. Your absence challenges that assumption. Now she's left wondering where she stands. And uncertainty is deeply unsettling. That's when the tables turn. 3. Fear of loss emerges. A woman often values something fully only when it feels at risk. When you were always there, always responsive, always available. There was no urgency to appreciate you. Detachment creates urgency. Each unanswered moment triggers doubt. Each silent day increases uncertainty. At first, she tries to appear unaffected. She tells herself she doesn't care. But internally, she's checking, rereading messages, watching your activity, hoping for signs. Control begins slipping, and that loss of control sparks pursuit. 4. She starts testing you. Once uncertainty takes hold, she tests, not openly, subtly. A casual message, a reaction on social media, a post designed to provoke emotion. These tests aren't about connection, they're about control, and this is where many men fail. They respond immediately, they show relief, they reveal availability, and in doing so, they give power back. A man who understands his value recognizes these tests for what they are. He doesn't react impulsively. Effort matters more than signals. If regret is real, effort will be clear. 5. The shift into pursuit. When her usual tactics stop working, her behavior changes. Messages become frequent. Conversations stretch longer. Memories are brought up. Because now she feels something unfamiliar. Loss. And loss intensifies attraction. But this is also where many men lose their ground. They forgive instantly. They become available again. They erase the boundaries they built, and the dynamic resets. A man rooted in self-worth doesn't rush. He allows consistency to speak. Because value isn't proven through words, it's proven through sustained effort. 6. Regret begins to settle. When she realizes your presence is truly gone, reality sets in. At first, she tells herself you'll return, that you'll break silence eventually. When that doesn't happen, regret creeps in. Memories resurface. Moments she overlooked gain weight. Stability turns into absence. Comfort turns into doubt. Distractions help briefly, but silence returns at night, and that silence speaks loudly. Regret doesn't arrive immediately. It arrives when permanence feels real. 7. Watching from a distance, even without direct contact, curiosity grows. She checks updates, asks mutual connections, observes quietly. She tells herself it's harmless interest, but deep down, she's searching for answers. Has he moved on? Is he happy without me? And if she sees you thriving, focused, unbothered, fear intensifies, because the idea that someone else may value you differently hits deeply. 8. Losing control completely. Even when a woman walks away, she often believes she could return if she wanted. That belief maintains emotional comfort. But when she sees you moving forward, not waiting, not reacting. 9. Attraction spikes through uncertainty. Uncertainty fuels desire when she no longer knows where she stands. When access feels limited, attraction intensifies. Now she's the one trying to regain attention. The dynamic has shifted completely. 10. Mixed signals appear. Confusion leads to mixed behavior, subtle engagement, indirect communication, attention without commitment. These signals aren't reconciliation, they're temperature checks. Reacting too quickly reinforces old patterns. Patience protects progress. Consistency determines sincerity. 11. Genuine effort emerges. If you remain grounded, this is where truth surfaces. She no longer sends vague messages. She expresses reflection. She acknowledges mistakes. Now the decision belongs to you. Do you allow re-entry? Do you set new standards? Do you continue forward? The real transformation wasn't about her return. It was about reclaiming yourself. 12. Jealousy tactics surface. When desperation rises, jealousy becomes a tool. Images, visibility, signals designed to provoke, but reactions feed the cycle. Non-reaction dissolves it. A man secure in his value stays focused on his path. 13. Overcompensation follows. When tactics fail, effort intensifies. Attention increases suddenly. Messages lengthen. Warmth returns quickly. But intent matters more than intensity. Temporary reassurance isn't transformation. Look for consistency, not urgency. 14. The let's be friends attempt. When all else fails, she may suggest friendship, not for connection, but for access. Emotional availability without commitment keeps options open. A man who values himself doesn't accept emotional leftovers. Closing. This journey was never about making her chase. It was about restoring your self-respect. The moment you stop chasing validation, you regain control of your life. And that's the real win. If this resonated with you, take what serves you and leave the rest. Because once you understand your value, you never beg for attention again. And that changes everything.